Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi man wala. So we had started discussing verse number 34 in Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter number 2. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ أَبَى وَاسْتَكْبَرَ وَكَانَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. Right? And remember, when we said to the angels, prostrate before Adam, so they all did, but not Iblis, who refused and acted arrogantly, becoming unfaithful. The word and, the waw, and, this shows that this verse is related to something prior, and we have to pay attention to that, waw, because it comes frequently in the Quran. You see the verse starting with waw, and. So you have to know that, or fa, sometimes fa, then you have to then try to search what it relates to before that. This waw relates to the verse وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. And waw as well, this waw as well relates to prior to that, to the creation of the heavens and earth. هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا ثم استوى إلى السماء فسواهن سبع سماوات وهو بكل شيء عليم وإذ قلنا للملائكة اسجدوا لآدم. So this waw, this first waw, talking about placing Adam, mankind, as the vicegerent and ruler over this earth, relates to creation of the heavens and earth, and it does relate to that. It shows that the major event for which the heavens and the earth were created was to choose this creation of Adam, this creation that has the free will and the knowledge and the cognitive abilities, so as to basically bring into effect the wisdom of Allah and His decree on this earth, so that this is the life of trial, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that created this kind of creation which has the ability to discern for itself what is right and what is wrong, and to act willingly with all freedom to choose the most appropriate action or to choose the wrong action with consequences for each of them. So Allah told the angels that He will place Adam on earth, and this other verse, number 34, وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ, relates to telling them that He will place Adam on this earth. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ. Allah commanded the angels to prostrate before Adam, after proving to them that he has a special feature that they were not given. A special feature, of course, of the free will. This is one of them. And they did not really understand the wisdom behind allowing him to do whatever he chooses. Adam, I mean. They felt that this can entail good or evil, so they did not understand that part. And also the privilege and the advantage of being able to discover for himself and know the names and features and specifications of all creation that Allah placed in this universe. Even the stars, people have named the very distant stars that are hundreds of and thousands of light years away. After that, after showing Adam's distinction in these kind of features, Allah commanded the angels to prostrate before Adam. And with قُلْنَا الْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ. And we said this is a real prostration. This is a real prostration because some people would explain prostration, sujood, as obedience. Some people may explain it like that. وَلِلَّهِ يَسْجُدُ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ مِنْ دَابَّةٍ وَالْمَلَائِكَةِ. So sujood could mean obedience, but here it is definitely prostration. Just like Allah said to commands the people, لا تسجدوا للشمس ولا للقمر. Do not prostrate to the sun or the moon. Same kind of wording, the lamb. اسجدوا لآدم. لا تسجدوا للشمس. So it's a real prostration. And we explained that prostration, we know it was lawful in previous nations as a sign of honoring someone. And there's an example in the Quran that shows that. Can somebody give me an example in the Quran of a human being prostrating before another human being as an honor to that other human being? It's mentioned in the Quran. Give me an example. Should I make it a bit easier? In Surah Yusuf. وخروا له سجدا ورفع أبويه على العرش وخروا له سجدا. He raised them to his throne, and they knew his honor and status and privilege. خروا له سجدا. They fell, actually. So you cannot say they just went like this. No. خر means they fell. Actually, almost like to fall on the face. وخروا له سجدا. So it was allowed before. This is one thing. And then the other thing is, the laws that apply to the angels are not the same laws that apply to mankind. The laws that apply to this nation are not the same as the laws that applied to previous nations. It was allowed in previous nations to make sujood as a sign of honoring someone, but not in this final sharia. Not in this final sharia. As I mentioned before, that even the commandments of Allah took into consideration the stage humanity was in. At every stage, even now, children, even in school, they're learning things that maybe we learned in university. I see my children in middle school and high school learning things that I only studied in university. So people develop in all aspects, even in worldly knowledge they develop. And also in religious knowledge, this final sharia is the most comprehensive, the most complete, the most perfect. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام. This final version of Islam, it's the final version because all this is Islam. All previous laws given to humanity are also Islam because it entails submission to what Allah tells us, right? So they listen to Allah, they obeyed, that's Islam. And whatever He told them then, now He tells us something else. And even during the life of the Prophet, Allah can tell people to do things initially and then, or allow them to do things and then prohibit them later. Many, many examples, right? A good example is, in salah, in prayer, they used to pray, but they could also, and if something important, you can ask the person standing next to you in salah. Are you going to the gym after salah? But later it became prohibited, right? An example is one of the Sahaba, before he actually left for a journey or something. I think it was Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. He left for a journey, and before he left, it was allowed to speak in salah. Like somebody come in and you're praying, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin Rahman Rahim. Somebody come in, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. So he came in and Prophet ﷺ was praying, and he said, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. He didn't respond. Twice, 3 times. He actually thought the messenger was angry with him about something. So after the salah, the messenger ﷺ told him, Inna Allah yuhdithu min amrihi ma yasha. He says Allah can initiate or change whatever laws He wants. Yuhdith. Ihdath means to bring about something new. وإن الله قد أحدث ألا تتكلموا في صلاتكم. And one of the new developments is that you are not allowed to speak in the salah. And that's the verse, وَقُومُوا لِلَّهِ قَانِتِينَ. When you stand in front of Allah, you stand in total submission, total concentration. You don't occupy yourself with anything else but the salah. Now, وَإِذْ قُلْنَا الْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا. The fa here, fa means immediately. In Arabic, if you want to say something happened after something, immediately you use the fa. فَسَجَدُوا. فَسَجَدُوا. Sajada means to prostrate. If you want to say it happened later, you would use a different letter, which is thumma. Thumma. So you pay attention to that. The waw in general does not entail order, but sometimes it can entail order. Such as when Allah says, Inna safa wal marwata min sha'airillah. Inna safa wal marwata. Where do we start the sa'i? From as-safa. We start from as-safa. Even the Messenger ﷺ said, when he went to the safa first, he says, Abda'u bima bada Allahu bih. I will start with what Allah started with. It can be a hint to the order. And that is why, remember when we talked about the creation of the heavens and earth, and that the Quran shows that the heavens were created before the earth? And that's important because actually that is scientifically accurate according to the knowledge we have today. One of the evidence that scholars concluded, we talked about that in detail before, but one of the things I forgot to mention is that every time Allah mentions the heavens and the earth, He mentions what first? Heavens, earth, as-samawat wal ard. Okay, He always mentions as-samawat, then al-ard. So that's another indication that they were before the earth. Now, just a hint. فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسِ. إِلَّا إِبْلِيسِ, except Iblis. But illa could mean but Iblis. Illa could mean except or could mean but. لكن Iblis. But Iblis did not prostrate. And we talked about Iblis not being from the same creation of the angels. Remember that? Although some scholars said that he is from the angels, but it is a weak opinion for more than one reason. Although it is a choice of very eminent scholars like Ibn Abbas and Ibn Mas'ud. We said that last time, right? But he cannot be from the malaika. He cannot be from the angels because he disobeyed and they do not disobey. He is made of fire and they are made of light. And he's mentioned in Quran, خَلَقْتَنِي مِن نَارٍ. He said, you created me from fire. And number 3 is that Allah said explicitly, إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ كَانَ مِنَ الْجِنِّ. He says he was from the jinn, right? The people who say he's from the angel, they actually, they know the verse, of course. Ibn Abbas and Mas'ud know this verse very clearly. إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ كَانَ مِنَ الْجِنِّ فَفَسَقَ عَنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّهِ. So they actually say that the word jinn in general means hidden creature. Jinn comes from Jannah in Arabic. Jannah means to hide. We say, and that's why, for instance, we say Jannah, the gardens, because they are surrounded by trees, and those trees hide what's behind them. You're secluded when you have trees. When you live in a Jannah, you're secluded. So also the shield the warrior uses is called Junnah. Don't you read the hadith, as-sawmu Junnah? As-siyam, fasting is Junnah. You ever heard this hadith before? As-sawmu Junnah. Siyam, fasting, is like a shield. How is it a shield, you know? As-sawmu Junnah. How is it a shield?
Against misconduct.
Exactly, for misconduct. And also maybe from fire, right? And misconduct leads to fire too, so it could be from both. As-sawmu Junnah. كَجُنَّةِ أَحَدِكُمْ مِنَ الْقِتَالِ. The hadith says that very clearly. The siyam, fasting, is a shield just like the shield you use in the battle. Because when the person fasts, he is closer to Allah. He has less desire to sin. If he's fasting the appropriate fasting, of course, with the good intention, it will cleanse the soul now. So they said, they know that the jinn means hidden creature, and they say that it can refer to angels. And there's a verse in the Quran in which the word jinn could actually strongly refer to angels, such as وَجَعَلُوا بَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَ الْجِنَّةِ نَسَبًا وَلَقَدْ عَلِمَتِ الْجِنَّةُ أَنَّهُ إِنَّهُمْ لَمُحْضَرُونَ. Here some scholars said al-jinnah here is angels because they nasaba means relationship, because some of the polytheists of Arabia, they thought the angels were the daughters of Allah. They thought Allah had daughters and those daughters were the angels. But anyhow, we know that he was not from he's not an angel. He is from the jinn. But why was he amongst them? That's the important question. Why did the command that was directed for the angels apply to him? And why was he even there? We talked about this last time. Munir? Remember?
He was shipping with the Malaika.
Yes, he was, according to what scholars concluded, is that he was he was a very dedicated worshipper till that point. And to the extent that his worshipping was almost like the worshipping of angels, subhanallah. And so that's why he was amongst them. Or if we say that he is from the jinn and from a lower rank, if Allah gives the command to the higher rank, the people of the lower rank, for a greater reason, should apply the same command. Just remember when I told you the general or lieutenant is given a command to do something, the little soldier has to listen as well, So this scholars say that he was doing good deeds, but he had some evil intentions inside, and evil features, which is arrogance. This shows the importance of cleansing the inside from evil qualities, because they can come and they can overcome the person in any test. Tests come one after the other, and if these evil qualities are left inside, they can cause failure at any point. And this is exactly what happened. So it's a warning. It's a warning for us. May Allah save us from our evil. Yani, وَنَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ شُرُورِ أَنفُسِنَا. We ask Allah refuge from the evil of our own souls, right? وَمِنْ سَيِّئَاتِ أَعْمَالِنَا. And from the evil of our deeds. Evil of our deeds can also lead to bigger evil deeds, or can lead to punishment in dunya and akhirah. May Allah save us. So evil from of the soul, he had an evil in his soul that showed up with that test. Because the evil would remain dormant inside the person until he is tested in that specific point. That's when it shows. إلا إبليس, I will almost finish here. إلا إبليس أبى واستكبر وكان. أبى means he refused, right? واستكبر means he became arrogant. وكان من الكافرين, and he became one of the unfaithful, ungrateful. Now, this order shows that he refused. Why did he refuse? Because of his arrogance, and this arrogance resulted from his ungratefulness. So as if it is in order. Refusal came from inside arrogance, and his arrogance came from being ungrateful or unfaithful. إلا إبليس أبى واستكبر. The word Iblis, we said Iblis is supposedly the first of the jinn. He's like the father of the jinn. Okay, the first one, just like Adam is the father of the mankind. And the word Iblis, scholars differed whether this is an Arabic word or is it from another language that came into Arabic. Those who said it's from Arabic, they said it comes from ablasa. Ablasa means ya'isa, means to lose hope and to despair. Ablasa. أو أبلس بمعنى بعد عن كل خير, means that he is distant from all goodness. So he is distant from all goodness, and he despaired and lost hope in the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal. I would like to mention that yes, he fell into this, and the punishment was severe because this is the direct commandment. He knows Allah directly, and he's been dealing with Allah directly, and this is direct commandment from Allah. It is very daring and very ungrateful to reject and rebel when you're facing Allah and He's talking to you. This is different from somebody who is receiving commandment from Allah through a messenger, through ages, through books. But this is standing in front of the Creator and saying, no, I won't do this. It's totally different. Sometimes even children, they do things and they say, I'll tell your dad. No, I don't care. But when the dad comes, he cares. Stop here, inshallah.
So if Iblis is the father of all the jinns,
yes,
he has some jinns that are Muslims. How did he get Hidayah?
Well, exactly. Exact features. Yeah, naam. Exactly. The father of Ibrahim was a non-Muslim. Like he used to build the idols, right? No. But not only his son was a prophet. So a descendant doesn't have to. This is one of the explanations of يُخْرِجُ الْحَيَّ مِنَ الْمَيِّتِ وَيُخْرِجُ الْمَيِّتِ. One of the explanations is that he brings out a believer from a disbeliever, and disbeliever out of a believer. Now. No? Yeah, of course he has. Yeah, no, exactly.